Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
From nopickspodcast.
Hey, family, this is Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, so Joe, check this out. We in this political season right now, and there's a Democratic pundit that made some interesting comments, right, about black men within the Democratic Party.
Okay.
So, and I think you going to know her and like her or whatever, because she's a big Bernie person.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull up part of the interview, and you and I are gonna talk about it.
Welcome back, everybody. We're so excited to have you here with us.
Yes, Miss Turner.
Senator Nina Turner, Senator from Ohio, former Bernie Sanders surrogate, a woman that I admire very, very deeply, even though there are many things we don't agree about.
You're supposed to say that, Lynch.
And I am so grateful to you for bringing for me at Newsweek and helped me understand a side of politics that is very, very important to our nation. I feel like we are in a we together, and that is so much more important than anything happening in any other place on earth. And so I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you both.
So you're a floor delegate for Ohio.
Yes.
You're very vocal for the uncommitted vote.
All right. So before I go to the segment of the interview that I really wanted to get to for us to talk about, I don't know. I mean, you seem to know a lot about Nina Turner. Give us a little background on her.
So I'm assuming she's still the senator for Ohio, right? And
Right.
she's been, very progressive. She was on Team Bernie when Bernie was running as well. She's very outspoken. For me, she's like the true progressive wing of the party, as opposed to like
Right.
the fake squad, the people that they really call progressives in the Democratic wing. So I love Sister Turner. Like, I love Senator Turner. I'm a big fan of her. I love a lot of her views, and she usually speaks a lot of truth, in my opinion. So I'm a fan. I love Nina
You're
Turner.
a fan. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get to the part that I really wanted to talk
I
about
can see, because
right
it's
now.
a little long,
All
John.
right.
But I might go back and watch
Yeah.
this now that I saw this.
You might go
Though.
back.
I would love to
check it
watch
out.
this.
It was a good watch. I watched it earlier today.
All
All
right.
right, so here we go.
Have found in Trump something to admire, something even to vote for.
Madam Editor, I'm glad you asked me that question. For me, the Democratic Party emasculates black men.
Wow.
And I think Hispanic men probably feel the same way. And I say this because they weaponize identity. When and where we enter, who we are, how we identify is important to who we are, just like our fingerprints. But if you're not going to use my identity to advance a social justice cause, and you're just going to use my identity as a blunt force object, now I got a problem. So what the Democratic Party does, they put black women on a pedestal and they say, we're the mothers of the movement, or we saved the party. But yet you don't put forth policies that save black babies. You don't put forth policies that deal with the maternal death rate of black women and black babies in the United States of America. You don't do those things that lift and edify. Yes, identity is important. Both parties use it differently. Republicans use it to say that everybody black or brown or of a mixed race is somehow kind of way a DEI hire. They use it to say certain books will be banned. Don't tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about how this country was formulated, because you might hurt a white child's feelings by saying that, yeah, chattel slavery existed. And oh, by the way, white powerful folks stole the land from the indigenous people. So all of those things, Chinese Exclusion Act, I mean, we can go down the list, but Democrats use it in a way that alienates other folks, and it offends me. So when I talk to black men across this country, they don't see themselves in this party. It's one thing to recognize the power and prowess of black women and the sacrifices that we make. It is another thing to put us above black men. The black struggle, black men and black women have to be together. We don't have the luxury to be separated. And so I resent the Democratic Party for doing that. And so black men do not see themselves in the party. That bravado, because we got a kind of masculine energy. And masculine energy is not all bad. But the type of bravado that Trump puts forward is still very much rooted in a hierarchical patriarchy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of men gravitate to that.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Bruh, I can't believe she said that on an interview on camera, and it's on the internets.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
So what you think, bro?
I mean, first and foremost, I want to thank her because I think that messages like this are so powerful when it comes from a black woman, right? Like if you're talking
Right.
about black women and talking about black men, but to hear a powerful, intelligent black woman, accomplished black woman in Congress, progressive, campaigning for politicians and for certain policies, to hear her say that black women have been pedestalized, for me is
Right.
like, it gives me hope that there's still
Yeah.
a chance that something might
Yeah.
change within our people, bro, because you can't tell our woman, okay, let's the sisterhood. We're speaking generally now, right? You can't tell our sisterhood nothing, bro.
Right. You
If
can't.
you were trying to tell them that the Democratic Party are propping up black women and
Yeah.
at the expense or detriment of black men, they'll be like, no,
Yeah.
you're just hating. You're just jealous. You're just misogynistic. That's just your internalized patriarchy talking. It's because women
Yeah.
have power and your ego can't deal with it. You're just
Yeah.
intimidated by us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You already know the
Yeah.
list, bro. But to hear it from a black woman who's already accomplished, intelligent, and all that stuff I listed earlier, like to hear it from her being like, yo, they're playing us. She's saying like, yo, the Democratic Party, y'all got so much smack to talk about the Republicans, right? But your own party that you vouch for is playing us
Yeah.
against each other, and y'all
Yeah.
just souping it up. Y'all eating it up because it makes y'all feel good and empowered, and because they're propping you up.
Yeah.
That's my initial thought, bro. What did you think?
Listen, I loved her saying it. I don't think I agree with her. I think the Democratic Party does emasculate black men.
I do.
Because look at because basically what we're told to just shut up and do what black women want. That's basically what we're told to do. Like as black men in the Democratic Party. What was it at the when Stacey Abrams was running for the governor of
Oh yeah, for Georgia.
Georgia. Black people, black men. Black men was an issue in that election, and it was black people. Black men were like, bro, like that, like we don't really feel welcome, and
Right.
we were just told like, yo, just shut up and vote like how we want you to vote.
Right. Just like now, what they want us to do now with Kamala.
Right, just like how they want us to do with Kamala. They're like, yo, just shut up. Our issues are important, which means like you want to see us happy. That means, like you want to see us happy. We don't really care about your happiness, but your happiness should be derived from us being happy.
Right.
And that's how the Democratic Party moves as far as men goes. Like I definitely don't see myself as a valued member of the Democrat, and I'm still a Democrat, right? But
Right.
I will say I'm not voting Democrat and for the foreseeable future because like I don't think that they give a like they care about us as soon as we vote. It's like, all right, cool. Do you remember when Ice Cube was on what's that show with with Lisa Ray? It's like four other chicks. Lisa Ray,
You talking about the Players Club?
Vivica Fox. No, yeah, Lisa Ray from the Players Club. Yeah, it was Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, and two other women. They had a show. I don't think it's still on, but they had a show together,
Okay.
and it was relatively popular. Right, it was like kind of like the hooder version of The View. Right. They had Ice Cube on when Trump was running in 2016.
Oh, yeah. They have a panel. It's on. It's not The View. It was like Fox Soul or something like that.
Yeah,
And
Fox
it was like
Soul,
a
something like
panel of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
So remember they had Ice Cube on, and Ice Cube was saying like, listen, we shouldn't just dismiss Trump because like if Trump got some policies that's going to help us black folks, then we need to support this dude. We need to like hear him out. We shouldn't just just ride with the Democrats because they Democrats. Like, and we shouldn't ride with Republicans because they Republicans. We need to go for whoever gives us the best opportunities. You mean economic opportunities or whatever. And the women on there were coming at Ice Cube because they were like, yo, because Ice Cube's proposal to Trump was a conversation that him and Trump had. He let it be known that Trump was saying, hey, I'll give black people the opportunity to to get loans. He had like a fund, like a $60 billion fund. Like, all right, yo, like black people could get these black businesses, and they and that's something that him and Ice Cube talked about. He was like, listen, you support me, blah, blah, blah. And you remember that $60 billion? Like, okay, cool. They got mad at Ice Cube because they were like, hey, listen, why in this $60 billion thing? Why didn't you work out a different deal specifically for black women?
Right.
And he was like, it's black people, like black women could get in this too. Like he was like, I didn't segregate it and say only black men. But they were like, no. We need something different. We need something different just for black women. And I'm like, and they were kind of going back and forth. And he was looking like, bro, what do y'all want from me? Like, yo, black women. So for me, that kind of signifies like, yo, like black women look at black people as like black women want to be elevated over like saying, hey, you know what, this black woman's a black person is not enough. She needs to be like, oh, I'm a black woman specifically.
Bro,
So
we gotta play a snippet of that.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to pull it up?
I'm listening to you, but I'm also looking at it because I feel like it's just so much more powerful to see it in real time. But
it was crazy.
Keep
he
talking,
was just
bro.
looking like he was like, what the fuck? But yeah, like it's like we like black men get browbeated in the Democratic Party if it's even implied that, you know, we don't go as hard for the Democratic candidate, particularly if she happens to be a black woman. Right? If you're a black woman, it's like, bro, you might as well just go back in the cotton fields if you don't vote for us, you scumbag. And I'm like, bro, like, listen, can we have something that we want too? We get it. Y'all want abortion. We get it. We get it. Y'all want your own businesses separate from everybody else. Okay, cool. We got it. Can we get something? I'm saying, like, it's like the craziest thing, bro. Like I really don't get it. Let me while you looking for that, let me pull something else up that kind of illustrates that point. And on top of it, we get insulted if it's even insinuated that we don't go with the Democratic candidate, particularly if it happens to be a black woman, like I mentioned. So let me pull this up real quick, and you'll remember this because she took some flack for that.
No, for sure. I'm listening to you too, Ty. I just want to see that clip for the people won't believe it. Oh,
no,
yeah,
absolutely. Remember this. Watch this.
Made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down.
Shame.
Sometimes it's like
Shame.
Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people. Please.
I remember this.
What's happening and get in line with some of the black women is majority Democrat, but that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people. I just don't understand that.
No, you look real stupid. And then painting us all as like these like Kevin Samuels like fanboys or like, you know what I mean, complete. It's like there was no reason for you to even interject that man's name into this conversation.
Right.
What was the point? He clearly struck he's probably one of the women he refers to when he talks about in his podcast, and it struck a nerve with her. So she was like, let me take a jab at him somehow on the mainstream media. For what? And you look stupid. I remember that, bro. And Tariq Nasheed, I respect Tariq Nasheed. I respect Kevin Samuels, and may he rest in peace. Like, yeah, shame, like Kevin Samuels said, shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right? Sign language. That's how he broke it down.
Right.
That was, and shame, guilt.
Bro, she said, get in line.
Get in line. Right.
Get in line. So, and Kevin Samuels mentioned this a couple times on his podcast too, but he was like, yo, the black community, different than every other community, we are a matriarchy. Like it's the black woman is the head of the black community. And the black man is supposed to follow obediently. And that's just what it is. Like that was how I grew up. You know what I mean? Like, and that's I don't know. Maybe this is part of the reason why we got all the problems that we got in our community, bro. We got 50% homicide rate. Goddamn, literacy rate's crazy. Like it's like, bro, like,
right.
Y'all have literally had the power for like 60 years, bro. Like y'all have had the power in media. Like the politicians go to y'all, right? Because like y'all are the most faithful base of the Democrats,
right?
It's just it hasn't gotten us anywhere. So just saying, yo, black man, go just get in line, do what we tell you to do.
No,
listen, that's not enough for me anymore, and I'm not voting Democrat anymore until this changes. Listen, I'm not.
And I know you know the answers to this, Ty, but I'm just asking just for the family and for context, right? Who do you think having Megan Thee Stallion twerk at one of Kamala Harris's rallies, who does that cater to? Who does that pander to?
Black women.
Black women, right? Because I mean, you could say black people, right? But mostly it's black women. That's what that strong black Jezebel spirit, promiscuous, twerking. I can do whatever I want. My body, my choice. Ratchet, like that for me panders to black women, right? What do you think? All these commercials, or just women in general, but black women, all these advertisements for Kamala for the past weeks, they've changed now. But for the first 2 or 3 months, everything was about reproductive rights. Who does that pander to?
Not us.
Women.
Not black men.
Not men, right? Not men. Everything is pandering. Everything is identity politics. Everything is pandering to women. And so to bring it back to what Nina Turner was saying, men don't see themselves. They don't see themselves like represented in the Democratic Party. We don't. They're propping up women so much. They're pedestalizing the black women so much, and basically exploiting them for their identity, making them feel good so they can like vote against their own economic interest. They're tearing them apart from black men. And this is all by design, bro. And they don't see it. They don't see it, bro. And you're right. The government, for decades, has done a concerted. We talked about this, a concerted effort to break black families apart, too, bro. Like I know we talked about welfare and how they basically took the dad out of the picture, made it so that men couldn't go into public housing, women could get stamps if they put their man on child support. Like there's so many different ways that they just pushed men from out of the family and made it harder for them to support their families. It's like, for me, in my opinion, I would say it's by design, bro. And they propped up these women and made Uncle Sam the father. It's just crazy to think
Yeah.
about it, bro.
Yeah.
It really is. So I found that short snippet just to make sure, family, you guys knew what we were talking about too, right? The one about Ice Cube. So I'm gonna let that rock out real fast, Ty, so people can see like this is what we're talking about, like because all this is just context, but. I found it, and I'm glad you reminded me of this because I was like, "Oh, Ty, I remember this, bro. I remember this." And it's called The Queens. That's their show, not The View. The Queens, the Queens. The freaking irony. So here's this. I put it right before it happens. Watch.
Here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So,
I don't agree with that.
With that said,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with. Can I? I don't agree. I used to be.
Look. I know we've had all kind of presidents, and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with the cocktails with the queens, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about. I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not. We're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And
you are mentioned. I mean, when you mention Black people, you mentioning Black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not
true. That's like administration said.
Look at his face.
People is not Black women. Black women are not included in Black people.
No, that's like you saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including Black people. But we all know that's not.
Yes.
Black women have specific needs and not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us and our plight as well. And I
understand that.
I feel like as a Black man, you can lead.
No,
I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind if you guys help us. If you guys help us write a section. No, I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. Right. I'll help you write it. If you
do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is?
Okay. All right. So that was, this whole panel was interesting, right? Because I also feel like they were like really disrespectful to Ice Cube, honestly, in different ways. But that's the attitude that they have. He's like, yo, y'all not included in Black. When we're talking about Black people, why do you guys have to take yourself out of that and give yourself a special category, a special little group with extra benefits? Like, I'm trying to do things that are going to lift the entire community, but y'all seem so intent on like separating yourselves from the Black man. No, we want something just for Black women. Yeah, just for Black women, and
we need like a special. We need like a special nugget, a special like something even a little bit more to represent our status above the Black man.
Right. No, and it's ridiculous, bro. So let's keep. So Nina Turner said a couple other things too, right? She said this idea that Trump kind of exudes this like masculinity. You know, whether or not what do you feel about that type of masculinity? He's more masculine. He expresses or exudes more of the masculine bravado, and that's we also talked about it. He's going to the UFC cage matches. Trump's going to the spaces that are male dominated spaces. He's talking to men. He's going out of his way to talk to men and going into male spaces. Like he's showing that he cares about men. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something that can be said about the Democratic Party. Who are they pandering to? Women, Black women. the alphabet community. They stay with the alphabet community. Like that's their demographic. That's their base. Once again, men do not see themselves represented in the Democratic Party. So the Democrats are pushing us more and more to the conservative side. They really are, bro. Like Latinos también. Like she said, Latinos, black folk. Yes, Latinos are seeing that too. That's why a lot of people are Latinos voting for Trump now. A significant portion of the Latino community voted for Trump the first round.
Right, they did.
And it might be more even now. There might be more this time around, which is crazy to think about that. Now, listen, let me make it clear. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I always got to say that because it's so easy to dismantle the stupid stuff that the Democrat Party does. But people would easily think I'm some kind of Republican. I'm really not, bro. I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Ty, I want to say something to you because you've said this so many times. And this is why I feel like your criticism of the Democratic Party is valid. When you voted for Democrat, right? You voted for them to do what was best in your interest, right? You voted for them to deliver on their promises. You voted for them because you believe that they were the better option, right? And you did that for years, probably decades, right? So I think you have every right to criticize the Democratic Party as heavily as you do because you put your trust in them. You exercise your political right and put it in them, and they failed you and they played you. So people can be like, well, why aren't you guys talking about, why doesn't Ty talk about Republicans? Why is he busting Republicans? Listen, we're not saying Republicans are perfect. We've even said both sides are scumbags. But Ty is criticizing, if someone like Ty, I can understand why you're criticizing the Democrats so heavily because you tried them. You didn't vote Republican. You voted Democrat. And they failed you. And because of that, you feel more of a kind of an investment in them. And you want to criticize the hell out of them, right? So I sympathize for you in that regard, bro, because there are people saying, why you got to just be, you're bashing the Democratic Party too much. It's unbalanced or you're going to help Trump win. It's like, nah, bro, I voted for them. So I'm going to criticize them because I put my faith in them. And they BS'd us for decades. You see what I'm saying? So I sympathize for you, brother. Like, I understand why you're frustrated with them. I absolutely get it, right? Anything else that Nina Turner said that you kind of wanted to talk about, or
what else?
She said we've been emasculated. She said black women have been pedestalized. She said, and I'm glad she said it. I'm telling you, man, some of y'all done sipped this feminist Kool-Aid, and it's tearing us apart. It is tearing our families apart. It is tearing our community apart. Like, it is destroying our relationships.
Y'all had this power, right? This for a really long time, right? But it's weird because like I think this is kind of like this to women in general too. Like women have a certain amount of power. We're talking about black women, so let's say black women have a certain amount of power, but then they also want to be like the biggest victim at the same time.
Yeah, right.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like, well, listen, when she, Nina mentioned, like y'all don't further any agendas. Like, what do y'all do? Like, y'all just kind of sit back and take whatever perks y'all get from these parties, but it's on an individual basis, right? Like they pay you, they give you some kind of cushy job, but like everybody else is like, well, y'all, the rest of y'all black women figure it out, the rest of y'all black men figure it out. So individual people benefit in these positions, but like they don't do anything to like help the group as a whole, even if it's just black women or black men or whatever, or black babies, right? Because they like to complain all the time about this stuff. But they can demand these things from the Democratic Party because they are statistically recognized as the number one. Like they support the Democratic ticket.
Block. Yeah.
They're like the number one base. Like they're like their literal main base. They're like their most faithful base. They can count on them 98% of every single election, right? So it's like given that you guys have like the ear of these politicians, what do y'all do? Y'all don't do anything.
Right. And I'm sorry, but y'all need our vote. Y'all need with this race being so tight. I just saw New York Times was talking about it. The polls are coming in super close, bro. Especially in swing states. So like if you're pushing away black men, you're pushing away Latino men kind of generally, honestly, unless you're the stereotypical snowflake, soy liberal. They're gonna vote for a Democrat no matter what. Like that's their thing. But like you're pushing away all those other men.
Right. And this is the last thing I want to mention. Do we get close out? So they say emasculating the black men, right? Like I was reading I was watching something on the news where they talk about like all the black male figures in the Democratic Party that are on TV, like Roland Martin, Van Jones. They were like, yo, these are some of the most feminine people out, yo.
They fruity.
Like, did you hear about what happened with Roland Martin? Like,
when he had booty cheeks on the screen?
I heard about that. Like he was watching, same sex, porn. You know what I mean? Like on the John. Van Jones. Every time, listen, you could pull up 1,000 clip of Van Jones crying. He was crying about Biden
Don
when he
Lemon,
dropped
we already
out,
know.
like it was his goddamn
Right.
grandpop or something. He was like,
Right. We got
like, bro,
Don
why you sitting here
Lemon.
crying, bro? Like,
These are the black men that are speaking for us in the Democratic. Don Lemon.
Right.
These are the people that are, the members who are self-identified in the alphabet community, or we just know or should be a part of it. Like just
Right.
super feminine men, and that doesn't represent me, bro, at all. I'm sorry, that don't represent me. And once again, we're not being represented, bro. We're just not. And and I don't care if you call it. Listen, y'all need our vote. And when Trump wins, y'all gonna point fingers and say this is men's fault. We don't care.
Yep.
Y'all didn't care about us. Guess what? We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Guess what, Joe? Shut up and get in line, bro. That's what they're gonna tell us. Shut up and get in line.
Right.
You must not be black, or you must whatever.
This is a good one. I'm glad we reacted to
right.
this one,
You mess with it. I'm glad
I like
you like it.
This is
Yeah.
dope.
All right, family. Let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Definitely comment. I would love to have a conversation on this for sure. And if there's some black women out there that want to give up some smoke, listen, I got my Twitter fingers are ready, bro.
Bring it.
All right, till next time.
All right.